Hello out there in Facebook land, YouTube land, whatever land you are in. And welcome to another episode of Live with Ms. KIR. Tonight we have a special guest, my mom. Show your love. And my wonderful co-host, we have Poessence, spoken word. Show your love. Shout out to Genevieve, who was going to be the other co-host but wasn't able to do so tonight. So shout outs to her. Shout out to everyone who's watching or will watch. Um, and if you watch this later, please click hashtag replay and like and share and all that good stuff. We're going to be breezy. My mom is in the building. Okay, we're going to be breezy. We're going to have some fun. Going to get some information. It's going to be deep. I hope I don't get emotional like Carl Thomas over here. But in any event, show your love. Again, for my mom, the special guest, Barbara Marie. Come on, folks, clap it up. Clap it up, finger snap, and all of that good stuff.
Why are you hiding me?
I'm not hiding, I'm right here.
No, I'm saying hiding me. There's no picture up there.
Oh, oh, you have to click on the
The
camera.
camera.
Yeah,
Camera.
yeah, where it says mic and then it says camera. You have to click on the camera.
Well, where is that at now? Great.
It should be at the bottom of your screen.
Of course not. Is it blue or something? Or no, that ain't it.
No, it just says camera and it says mic.
Oh, that's what it was there before, but it's not there now. Oh gosh. Okay, well, never mind. Nobody got time for this.
Well,
Okay, hold on.
everybody be breezy. Everybody be breezy with us. Breezy on this Friday. Breezy on this Friday. Okay, so we have Teresa Hazel Eyes. She is in the building. Welcome, Teresa. Teresa comes on and faithfully each week. So show your love for Teresa Hazel Eyes. She says, hey, everyone. Poessence did the finger snaps, and Teresa did 1, 2, 3, 4 finger snaps, and Poessence did the hand clap. So yay. Usually in the tradition of the writer's block, we usually do the celebrity birthdays. However, I don't have the list, so there's no celebrity birthdays for me to do. I'll probably do combined March and April next week. Okay. Uh, Mom, aka Barbara, are you there?
I think she got kicked off.
Oh, oh no.
Well, I will say that somebody special has a birthday at the end of this month.
Ooh. And who is that special person?
Me.
Oh, show your love, folks. Poessence, spoken word. She has a
Yes.
birthday at the end of this month.
Yes.
Snap it up. All right, I think she's back.
Still no.
Yeah, don't see you though, but
I know I can't do it. I can't see where to do it. I don't know.
okay.
You
Well,
can't.
folks,
Oh, well, good because my. Hold on, if I can. Is this going to go up any further? Oh, okay, okay. I had to see that door. No, I don't want to leave the studio. Okay, over by the left hand side is my name at the bottom. Then there's 3 dots to the right. What do I do with that?
3 dots. Let's see. You can try clicking on that and see if it brings up camera. I'm
Let's
not
see.
sure.
Hold on. I'm going to try to do something really quickly.
Okay.
Okay. Link. wrong place. There we go.
I would also like to take this time out to give a shout out to my great guest last week, uh, Rosalia, the co-host, along with Heavenly Harmonies, and Brittany, aka Shy Moonlight, and Carla Cherry. So show your love for last week's guest. That episode reached 1K.
Oh. Sorry
Oh,
about that. Okay, so down the bottom where you see the three dots, do you see a square that says chat next to it?
That says chat. No, but to the right of it, it says you're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you, but apparently you can't.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't understand.
Yeah, because on the other side of that, it should be Cam and then Mike.
Not on my computer.
Okay. Oh, you're working from a computer? Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you see settings?
No. Well, I have something here that says stop mic /cam. So maybe if I cut that off and then start over.
Yeah, you can try that one. My apologies. I was trying to figure out.
that's okay. As I was saying, shout outs to my guests from last week, Shy Moonlight and Carla Cherry, along with my wonderful co-hosts, Heavenly Harmonies and Rosalia. Shout outs to them. That show reached 1K. So show your love.
Yes, that was an amazing show.
It
That
was.
was an amazing show. I was a little jelly. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that was a great show. That was a very great show. Big fun was had. Big fun was had.
I saw.
Yeah. Yes, the big fun.
Yes, incredible poetry, incredible storytelling, just very eloquently just done.
Yes, I agree. And Donna Banks has entered the building. Hi, Donna. Donna says, hello,
Hello.
everyone. Oh, Teresa Hazeleye said, any birthday plans, Poescent?
Tell you like I told my husband, I honestly really hadn't thought about it. Like I don't have anything, normally your birthday comes around and you're like, oh, I want to do this, I want to go here. I just want to spend the day with my family. Like I have everything that I want right now.
Oh, nice. I can do
And
that.
and take a nap.
Oh, yeah, naps are everything these days. Yeah.
Yes, I want to take a nap.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at that point where I want to get dressed, look cute, and take a nap.
Yeah, naps are everything.
Yes.
Yeah, I find myself enjoying naps more and more.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are quite exciting. I don't know what happened to where, we got older and everybody's like, you're an adult, you shouldn't be taking naps, around 17, 18,
Mm-hmm.
up to like 30. And then when you hit the seasoned age,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, those naps were really interesting. That was a really good nap.
Right. Yes. I agree. Absolutely. There's nothing like a good nap. Like I could use one right now.
Yes.
Ooh, what a day. But it is Friday. Yay for Friday.
Yes,
Yay for
yes, yes,
Friday,
yes.
folks. Kanisha
Yes, yes.
Akra has entered the building. Teresa Hazelot said, LOL, nothing wrong with that. And Kanisha said, hello, everyone. We'll look at this later. Hope you have a blessed night. Oh, Kanisha. Kanisha was a guest back in September. Her and my good friend Antoinette Grove.
Oh,
Shout
okay.
out to Antoinette, my sister from another mother.
I
And
love those.
also, shout out to Miss Levine Hilton, who was the guest, and uh, Haru Arquette. Haru, where you at? And shout outs also to Jay Silent Knight, aka Rice Aroni, aka Madagascar Boy. Where you at? SK, where are you? Where are you, SK? So while we wait for my mom, um, oh, Eric Williams has entered the building. He says, "Salute, sister. Just got in. Positively productive day in life. Salute the team." Salute to you, Eric Williams. So tonight we're going to be talking with my mom, Barbara Marie. We're going to be talking about her book, Pretty Ugly: How Low Self-Esteem Almost Ruined My Life. So we're going to talk to my mom about her great book and growing up in Newark, New Jersey, aka Brick City, and all of that good stuff. Let's see, what other announcements do I have? Saturday, July 19th, Donaldson Park in Highland Park, New Jersey. The Writers Block presents Open Mic in the Park. Okay, Open Mic in the Park. That's Saturday, July 19th at 5:30 p.m. Donaldson Park. We'll be in Grove 3A in Highland Park. Open mic signups will begin at 5:15. So come on down. The event is free, but donations are always welcome and greatly appreciated. And let's see, any other announcements? No, I don't. So while we wait for my mom, Poessence, can you dig in your crates?
You know what? The one day, the one time that I'm not prepared, oh, I'm gonna get you. Oh, I'm gonna get you. Oh, that one time, the one time. Mm-mm-mm. You know what? You know what? You know what? Digging in the crates this time is not gonna be so bad because I'm gonna just pull out the book.
Well,
I'm gonna pull out the
dynamite.
book. A Journey Through Her Eyes. Hmm. Let's see. Mm. Mm-hmm. Do, 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 do. Mm. Let's see.
Drum roll. Let me see some drums in the comments. See some drums in
Okay.
the comments. Show your love for Poetess Spoken Word and her new book.
Yes, 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 yes. This one is titled Love of Poetry. I set sail on my journey of freedom to embrace my undying love for poetry, tracking the wind's direction as the lyrics match the wave's reflection. I was able to form sonnets with sturdy foundation, sails of haikus that harvested my exhales. As I wrote myself free, I began to empty the baggage that hindered me from my escape. Since my yells fell on deaf ears and I was too strong to break, I let words etch my thoughts loudly. I fell in love with poetry when I became stranded in a sea of emotion and my tears demanded to be heard, but all I had was blank paper and whittled pencil. Love of poetry.
Snap it up in the comments, folks. Snap it up in the
Thank you,
comments.
thank you, thank you.
Yes. Go Poessence. So if you guys didn't get her book, what you waiting for? Go get Poessence's book. Okay? Go and get her book. Go and get her book. And be breezy with us on this Friday night. Be breezy.
Yes, 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 yes.
Because we being breezy. We being breezy.
Your mom said, she said, I'm here, but you cannot hear.
Oh, okay, because I don't see her on my screen. Okay, there we go. All right. Still can't see you.
Okay, hello?
Yes,
Oh,
can
you
hear
can hear me
you.
now. Okay. Well, it's still saying you're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you, but you can hear me, but you can't see me. So I don't know. This it says stop the camera, but which means it's on, but it's not showing anything. I don't get it.
Yeah, that happened to Sadette when she was on.
Oh, really? Well, what did she do?
Yeah. Um, yeah, we ended up only being able to hear her. It did the same thing.
Oh, well, that sucks.
Yeah.
Okay. Only me.
Unless you have a button on your computer that is like a camera, because maybe it has the camera blocked, maybe.
Oh, yeah, this okay. What
Oh,
would that look like?
I'm guessing maybe a camera? I don't know.
Okay, I'm looking here. Let's see. This
oh, Teresa Hazel said, yes, I still need to do my book shopping.
oh
Yes,
no,
Teresa, do your book shopping, girl. Okay.
right. Even though this is I had to turn that up a little bit. Okay, I don't see anything that looks like a camera. Let me see this
Rosalia said maybe it's a sliding button of some sort.
a sliding button.
Yeah.
Hi, Rosalia. Hey, girl.
There's no sliding button. I got an HP computer, so I don't know. Let me look at the back and see if I can do anything with the camera.
Oh, wait, we see an arm.
Oh,
There
there
you
you go.
go.
Oh, yay.
Okay. All I had to do was go back here and slide this thing up from the back. I didn't know because I never used the camera. All right.
See you.
That's a nifty thing, because I swear people be looking at me when I be on my computer. I need to get one of those.
Okay. Well, that took like all of a half an hour. Okay.
Hey, better late than never.
Exactly. Thank you, Rosalia.
Thank you, Rosalia. Appreciate you, girl. Okay, folks. So again, if you're just tuning in, this is live with Mz.KIR. My special guest tonight is my mom, Barbara Marie, and my co-host tonight is Poessence Spoken Word. So show your love to my guest, my mom. Yay!
Thank you very much.
And show your love for my wonderful co-host, Poessence Spoken Word. Need the finger snaps and all that good stuff. And like I said, if you're watching this on the replay, type in hashtag replay and share and like and share and comment, because caring is
Yes, yes,
sharing
yes,
and
yes.
sharing is caring. Okay, so mom, aka Barbara, also known as Gamma, can you tell the people who you are in my Mufasa voice from The Lion King?
I am Barbara Marie. Um, what can I say? I can say a lot of things, but I'm from right now. I'm in Chester, Virginia at the moment. I've been born and raised in Newark, New Jersey.
Brick City. Brick
I was
City folks.
I moved to Plainfield in 74. Just,
Plainfield, Queen
just
City.
yeah, just before you were born. I had after Plainfield, where do we go? Where did I go after Plainfield?
Um,
Wasn't DC yet. It was
no, it was Highland Park,
oh yeah, Highland Park. Highland Park. And then from Highland Park,
New Brunswick.
New Brunswick, and then DC. Okay. So now I'm in Virginia. So that was a lot of moving, moving around and stuff. So um also some of these questions though is I was kind of laughing because I said, I don't know, how do you expect me to remember all that? I mean, I guess if you ask me, I can, tell you something, but you was going all the way down the line from the top to the bottom. I'm like, my memory is not that great. Okay.
Neither is mine.
A little bit of brain fog going around. So anyway. All right. Let me see. What else can I say? What else you want to know?
You're a gamma of how many grandchildren?
I have two, a girl and a boy. Tanea and who is 25, and Caden, he's 14, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that
Oh,
is
I got that
correct.
right. Okay. He's 14. Yeah.
Okay. So, Mom, aka Barbara, aka Poetic, aka Gamma. um, what do you like to do in your spare time?
Take a nap.
Me and Poesis was talking about that. Naps for
I'm all for
everything.
that. I'm all
Well,
for that. Yes.
especially after you get a certain age, you
Uh-huh.
retire. You have you're so tired, you don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
But I spend a lot of time basically now on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I don't do TikTok too much, but every now and then I do that. I like a lot of videos. I like a lot of funny stuff that I see on social media and stuff like that. I just enjoy myself. I also have this app called Brain FM, and I believe the FM stands for your mind because I have ADHD, and it's a thing where it's music, a lot of music to help you um, meditate, relax, either or, not all at one time, but you can either meditate, relax. Um, there's something else. There's another thing added to that. I forget what it is. But the music is really great. I don't like everything on it. I have over 100 and something songs on my phone, and some of the music is so beautiful. Some of the music is nice. Some of the music make you want to move around, dance, and all that kind of stuff. But it's really nice, and it's good if you have ADHD. You have low attention, hard. It's hard for you to concentrate and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. Speaking of ADHD, can you tell the folks like when you were diagnosed with it?
Well, back in the day when I was going to school, they weren't doing it then. They wasn't checking kids for ADHD. I was grown when I was diagnosed back in I think it was in the 90s, somewhere in there, somewhere in the 90s. Yeah, and I was prescribed some Ritalin at that time, and didn't work. And I had to go back to the doctor, and she said, "Well, I'm not a psychiatrist. I did give you the first, you know, your first dose, but I can't give you any more because I'm not that kind of doctor." So I was like, "Oh God." So a little while after that, I had actually went to therapy in Edison. Was that Edison or Metuchen? I think it was Metuchen. I had therapy for about a year or so, and they wanted to prescribe something for me, but she said she couldn't give me Ritalin either. So I'm like, okay, so what am I supposed to do? Uh, Coming here to Virginia, I had what did they give me? They gave me something else. Oh no, that was DC. Certain chemicals in my brain won't allow me to accept these medications because I started having auditory hallucinations. What that means is you hear things that's not there. It's not, I can't. And how it first happened when I was in DC and I started taking it. And one day I was in the house. My husband had went to work and I was hearing him talk. And I'm looking around and I'm sitting in the living room where the door is. And I didn't see him come in. He didn't come in. But I'm hearing his voice and I'm like, okay, something's wrong. But then I'm hearing, other things too. And I'm like, no, I can't. So I had to stop taking it. Anything that has to do with trying to correct little things going on in your brain, I can't take those. So what am I going to do? I just have to just accept it or use some other kind of method. So there's a lot of things. And also the depression too. There was a lot of that going on. So they gave me, what's that medication they gave you when you have your depression? It was a long time ago I started taking that. But like I said, that was a hallucinatory thing too. So I still couldn't take it. So anyway, what else did you need to know?
Okay, so we're going to talk about your book here.
Okay. Oh, how that started?
Yes.
Well, when I went to DC, moved to DC, I decided to write. Oh, also how that started was I had groups, women's support groups. I had a support groups for women, and there was a lot of stuff going on and I had shelter. I had support groups at shelters, women's shelters. And there was a lot of stuff going on with women, so I said, well, let me see if I can. And I was learning things along the way, so it wasn't like an overnight thing. I was just learning things. And then after I thought about it, I said, well, maybe I could write a book and try to help some of these people, some of these women that are going through these things. And that's what I did. I sat down and I started writing out what I wanted to say. Everything that happened really happened. There's nothing in there that's in the book that's made up or I just wrote any old thing. No, I didn't. It was a long process. It was it was kind of hard. I'll put it that way. It was hard, but I had to get through to get through with it so that I can, try to help somebody because everybody, I've seen a lot of people going through some of the same things that I went through. So I thought maybe, okay, I can help them. So I just started doing, I started writing and writing and writing. And it was hard. Like I said, I had to cry sometimes I had to laugh. And it was, so, but it turned out pretty good. And I was kind of proud of it.
I'm proud of it too. Show your love, folks, for my mom.
Thank you.
Poessence, do you have a question you'd like to ask my mom?
When you started, I know you said that, you were helping a lot of women and doing the groups and the support groups and things like that. When you started that and you came to the conclusion of like you wanting to write the book, at some point, like before you started, did you have to like sit with yourself and marinate what you wanted to put into the book?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you have to do that. You can't, you have to have like had to sit down and write. Okay, well, how do I start? Start from this age, and I had to go up until then I started writing my chapters and what I wanted to say and all that. Yeah.
Hmm. At what point during the writing process did you start to feel healing or receive healing or see that you had been healed?
Well, I wasn't completely healed. It took some time. It's because the stuff that I went through it was a lot, and it took a lot for me to get through. through it to realize that, hey, this is something that I really need to do. I have to do this, and I know it's going to take some time. It's not nothing that happens overnight. So, but like I said, it was cathartic, and it's just, I don't know. It's just something I really need to do, and I enjoy doing it. Before I started the tears and all that, I started enjoying it. Yeah. So.
Yeah, because as I was reading the book, I was up in here like
Right. Like I
all
listen, I
emotional,
made
like
it
Carl
It
Thomas
was
up
for
in
me
there.
to do that. It was for me to do that.
I made it to chapter 9, and I will say this. I identified with so many different situations that I had to, like, I'm like, I can't cry. I gotta read this. This Mz.KIR mama, I gotta read this. I can't be crying.
Yeah.
It was very it was very it's very emotional. And
Mm-hmm.
you are very, very strong. Like,
I
just
wouldn't say that. I was not strong at that time.
no, no,
I
no,
was
no.
just doing my
Listen,
best.
when you are right, when you are going through something, obviously you don't feel strong. You don't feel empowered at all. But to
Mhm.
be sitting where you are now, to
Mhm.
have sat down and gathered all of that information and all of those moments and all of those memories and to put them into a book, that is strength. That is strength that I myself am seeking to acquire.
Really? Thank you. Hmm.
Yeah,
You're very welcome.
Oh, I appreciate that. Okay.
yeah.
So, did you find anything funny in where do you say you were at? And you were in chapter 9.
Yes, I'm in the beginning of chapter 9. We just talked about what chapter was that? I can't remember. The gooseneck. That
Oh,
was funny. That was funny. I was just like, and like when it was said, I'm expecting at that point, because you talked a lot about like putting your foot down and letting these people know like they couldn't take advantage of you and they couldn't just say things. And it was like in that moment where I expected you to like flip some tables and desks, you were like, gooseneck? Really? And then you found the humor in that. Like it was like, I don't know if I would have I okay. I see where you going, and I had to laugh about it because I was ready to fight with you. Like, who was you talking to?
Throw the hands.
Right, right.
Yeah,
yeah. But
yeah.
there was another funny moment too. Where's that at? I don't know. There was another funny moment in here too. I mean, everything wasn't doom and gloom, and a lot of it was, but okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
So,
yes,
what
the
about
props. Huh?
what I did find interesting, right, was that you tried makeup to darken yourself. I thought that was interesting, and I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a point in my life where like I tried to navigate in makeup and I got makeup that was like way lighter than what I was. And it was
Mm-hmm.
like, was the process when you started wearing makeup, was it the process to darken yourself, or were you just really trying to like learn makeup? Because it's very easy to do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that started with being called, certain names as a kid, as far as my
Mm-hmm.
complexion was concerned. See, out of everybody in my family, I'm the only one with this complexion. And the reason being is that my grandfather's side of the family, all of them were light skinned. So for whatever reason, genetically, I wound up with it, and everybody else was darker, and I wanted to be darker because, first of all, it would have stopped, people from calling me all these light skinned names. So I would have preferred to have been darker, then I wouldn't have to deal with it. But it wasn't just kids to do it; it was kids that were doing it, adults was doing it, some family members was doing it. So I was trying to do what I could to stop the, to me, that was abuse to me, and I just felt like I had to stop it. So, yeah.
So, speaking of family, what was it like growing up in the city of Newark with all of the siblings that you had?
There's a part of the question that you asked me as far as you asked me about my favorite did you say my favorite person or a favorite family member or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to segue into that because really there was only two people that I can honestly say at the time that I had a bond with. That was the question about having a bond. And there was my grandmother and my cousin Milton. Other than that, there was really nobody else in the family that I really bonded with, because there was no family member. They didn't get along with me for whatever reason. I don't know why. I was the oldest, and I was always told to, like when my parents went out, I was the oldest, so that means the kids had to do what I said to do. But the reverse happened. They didn't do nothing that I said to do. And it wound up with a lot of fighting and carrying on broken lamps and all that. And guess what happened? When they got back, not only did they get spanking for what they did, but I got a spanking too. Why did I get a spanking? I didn't tell them to do that, to go run around the house fighting each other, breaking stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so I really thought that was unfair, but that's just the way it happened. So, yeah, and my cousin Milton, that was my boy. I love Milton. Milton always he was older. He was, I think he was maybe 10 years older than me, maybe somewhere in there. And he used to take me to New York, and we used to do things together, and he introduced me to his friends, and we used to go out and stuff. And he, invited me to come to his house, which was my aunt's house. And we just had fun. And, we did form a bond, and I really loved that because I didn't have nothing else. And my grandmother, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of that, getting in trouble for somebody else, whew, I'm glad I was the only child because if I'm getting in trouble because of somebody else, we would have to come to blows. It would have been some fighting going on because ain't no way I'm about to get in trouble for somebody else didn't know and to the throat. So I'm glad I'm the only child. Thank you.
I, however, am not the only child. I am not the oldest, nor am I the youngest. And like I said, I resonated with a lot of what you were saying, as far as the kids listening, not listening, you getting in trouble for what they were doing. And I remember, like, the idea was like, for us growing up in the house, it was like, had you been watching them, they would not do what they did, or they wouldn't have done what they did. So now you have to be punished while they're being punished. So I'm telling, as soon as you walk through the door, when I was little, I was known as the snitch. I'm telling because I told you not to. No, like, and I don't care what you call me. Guess what? Nope, he did it. I watched him. I told him not to. Now, listen, it was them or me. I learned early. I don't care what you call me. I could be the snitch. You don't have to like me, but I'm telling, I saw you did
it. Okay.
No, that's right.
So you don't believe in snitches get stitches, huh?
Listen. Them spankings, we gonna say spankings, right? Those forms of discipline, okay, even though they only lasted for a moment in time, which it's like it stood still, the after effects when it comes to sitting down, right? Way more defining in the moment. Nope, I'm telling. Rather you not be able to sit down than me. I like watching TV sitting down. I'm telling.
Okay.
Hey,
Mhm.
I hear you on that fluorescence. That yeah.
Listen, it was a lot of them. It was like 14. I had 14 siblings living in the house at the time. So yes,
Wow.
I'm telling. We not all listen, I'm not 7 of y'all getting in trouble. I saw everything. I'm telling. I might as well. You remember being a safety in school? I might as well been walking around like this. Yep. At 7:30.
I feel you on that. I feel you on that. Shoot. Okay, Mom. The next question I have for you. Um, if you could go back in time, what would the older you now tell your parents then?
Hmm.
I'm in my Topher vibes. Topher's in the building.
Okay. Can you repeat that?
I said, if you can go back in time, what would you tell the younger you? I mean, wait a minute. If you could go back in time, what would the older you now tell your parents back then? If you could go back in time.
Okay, that I didn't feel loved. I didn't feel like I mattered. Um, I really would prefer if they would try to find a way because whether I was the oldest or not really is immaterial. That doesn't matter. It's the fact that I'm your child and parents are supposed not saying parents are perfect. That everything they do is perfect. They know everything. I don't feel bad about what I went through back then now because I realized by parents not being perfect and who knows their own upbringing because you never know what somebody else has gone through growing up. So I would honestly tell them that they should have been more fair with me. They should have been watching out to discipline the kids that weren't responding to me when I tell them, when they went out to stop running around the house, stop fighting and all that, just to let them know that, why am I being singled out with all this stuff? Not just singled out, but involved in all that. I had nothing to do with that. So why did I get spanking? For what? I said, I would tell them that was completely unfair. And I would be, of course, I'd be, I wouldn't be like mean or anything. I just sit down and just talk to them like, a decent person would do, talk to their parents, let them know that, hey, that wasn't right, how you did me and blah, blah, blah. And, you could at least show me some kind of love, some kind of support. But I can say, and I don't know if I wrote that in the book or not, but my teacher wanted me to do a project in school for the assembly.
Oh yes, I read that part.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So then you know what happened.
Yeah.
That I remembered. I didn't want to do it, of course, because I was shy. I didn't want to. Don't even try it. I didn't want to do it. It's the same thing Deborah did to me too. Did you see what Deborah did when I had to memorize those poems?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the same exact thing that happened. I didn't want to do it. The teacher told me I had to do it. If I didn't do it, then I'd be in trouble. The same thing with Deborah. She wanted me to memorize all these poems, and I told her I couldn't do it. She said, well, if you can't do it, you're not going to be in the play. So I had to
Shout out to the dictator, Deborah Cheney.
She wasn't playing. Deborah didn't play. She did not play. I was like, okay. So I went home, and it took me it was 2 weeks before the play, and I sat down and I memorized my poems. And when I got to for the audition, I aced it. And just like that thing with the assembly, I did my part. Everybody stood up and clapped for me, and I was happy. I was a happy camper.
Bravo. Strong J. Strong J. Snap it up for my mom, folks. Snap it up. Oh, okay, Poessence, do you have another question for my mom?
Well, piggybacking off of that, from reading that part, it definitely seemed like you were seen and someone saw ability in you. That teacher saw an ability in you that nobody else did at that moment. Like, I know that you were a happy camper and you were a happy kid, but just inwardly right now, like, how would you describe how that made you feel to be seen? And
it felt really good because, like I said, I had no allies or anything. It was just me, myself, and I. That's it. And it made me happy to know that I did something, and I did something right. I did something that I finally enjoyed doing, and that other people appreciated it too. And I was happy about that because I didn't get that in any other way. No friends, no nothing, so. And speaking of friends too, I had issues with friends, so-called friends. They would like stab me in the back, pretend that they're my friend, and then go off and talk mess about me and all that kind of stuff. It was a lot of stuff going on though, a lot. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. So, Mom, what are your favorite childhood memories?
Okay, let's backtrack to what I was saying before. There was a whole lot of stuff going on, and I wasn't happy and all that. There was actually times when we did do things. My father used to take us to the amusement park that in Newark. I forget what the name of it now is, but we used to go on rides and stuff. You know how to do at amusement parks, on rides. But my thing was, I used to get motion sickness. But I had fun in the meantime, though. So, yeah, we used to do that, and I used to go eat out a lot, stuff like that. Some of it was enjoying. I can't say that everything was all bad because it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can honestly say that it really wasn't all bad. It was just, to me, it was bad enough at that time. So.
Okay, so going back to your favorite people in the family, Milton and Nanny, can you elaborate some more about your bond with those two?
Well, basically, like I said, with Milton, we had a lot of fun. He used to do things, we used to talk and laugh, and just be, just be with each other. He wasn't the type to go and tell things about me. I could tell him anything, and he'll listen, or if he had any advice, he'll give me advice. As far as Nanny, you know how Nanny was. Nanny was funny for one thing. She was so fun, and she looked out for me. She always looked out for me, and that's when times when I had to spend the vacation time, summer with her. Every year she took me, came and got me, and took me to her house because she knew how I was being treated. She knew that, and she took me to her house, and we did things. We used to go to Rockaway Beach, Wildwood, and they had what they call, because they're West Indian, and they used to play cricket. And oh, that's the thing too. My grandmother used to sit me out in the sun. I used to sit out in the sun. It was hot, but she wanted me to sit out in the sun to get some color. Okay, it's funny to me now, but it wasn't funny back then because it was hot. I was like, oh gosh. So yeah, that's basically all I can really say about them. They were those two are the ones that really I bonded with.
Yeah, nothing like a grandma bond and a cousin bond. Shout out to my cousins, wherever you at, Scott, Jacob, and Isha Yakov. Where y'all at? Oh, and rest in peace to Nan. She was the best. So let's see here.
You wrote all that stuff down yourself?
Yes, I did.
Oh, wow.
Your phone just keep passing out. What is happening?
I don't know. Oh, can you briefly talk about Uncle Joe and Aunt Mary and what it was like living in their house?
Well, and Mary used to crack me up. And Mary was always mad at Uncle Joe about something, and she used to argue with him in front of me, and all this stuff. About him messing around with other people and all this kind of stuff. She was just, I was like, look at that, right? And he was always saying, Mary, what are you talking about, Mary? And she was something. When my father used to actually abuse my mother, and one day, she heard it. She came running down the stairs, and the stained glass window at the door. I don't know if you remember that stained glass window at the door.
Yeah.
She fell into that and cut her arm real bad. She had to go to the hospital.
Oh.
And, yeah. But anyway, Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe was funny. Half the time I didn't understand what he was saying because
he was funny. He was.
He was funny.
Uh-huh.
Jojo, get the team. He always get the team. Yeah, and living in the house too. Well, the thing that was really nice was my mother was having kids. My father wasn't home to take care of us, so. And Mary used to take care of us. She used to cook food for us, cook dessert for us. And she cooked very well. I loved Aunt Mary's cooking.
Yes.
Yeah, she took very good care of us. So, and the kids weren't that bad then while she was taking care of us. That was for sure.
Wow.
And I love 9th Street. I really love it. And when we moved to Prince Street, I really missed it. I wish we could stay there longer. So,
yeah. Okay, let's see. Poessence, do you have another question for my mom?
Well, you said that I want to get it right. Was it Mary?
And Mary?
Yes. What was one of your favorite meals that she used to cook?
Mac and cheese.
Yes.
She used to make tapioca pudding.
Yes.
She made good fried chicken.
Mm-hmm.
But we used to go there to her house for Easter.
Mm-hmm. Chili con carne.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was my grandmother. They're sisters. My grandmother, my aunt, my other aunt, and Aunt Mary. They're sisters. And Nanny had she had Christmas.
Yeah, and she had Thanksgiving.
And then at Mary had Easter.
Easter. Yeah.
And we, all the kids, all the family used to come together, and we used to eat and laugh and have fun like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good times. Very good times. So, Mom, I'm gonna go back to like chapter 1 about the pretty ugly part. Can you talk about that?
What you mean? Oh,
the pretty ugly part about how you were called pretty ugly.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Okay, where is it? Yeah. Okay. Of course, like I said, I mind my own business. I didn't bother nobody, even in school. And I was walking home one day, and I don't remember if it was a male or female was walking. I think he beside me, and then he or she passed me, and then they said, "Pretty ugly. You're pretty ugly." No, they didn't say it like that. They said pretty, and then she said ugly, and then she kept saying it, pretty ugly, until she or he ran around. Because this was back in the '60s, so I don't remember whether it was a male or female. So that's really what happened there. That's what happened, and that kind of made me feel bad all the time. Like, damn, can't catch a break. Oh, I said, excuse me. Anyway, I said, yeah, I can't catch a break no matter what.
And that part in the book when you were at Aunt Mary's and you were looking in the photo album and you had asked her who that was in the photo album because it was a picture of you and cousin Joe. Can you talk about that? Because that kind of ties into the being called pretty ugly.
Oh, the picture with me and Joe for the class picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I saw that, I had to take a real good look at it. I was like, yeah, that was me. I said, I don't think that I didn't look so bad. What was the problem? Because I mean, I didn't look no better, no worse than nobody else, but I sure didn't look bad. And I was like, man. So, and Mary had told me, because she showed me at the house. I don't know, did you remember her saying that? And Mary said, no, you wasn't ugly. I said, I wasn't? She said, no, you wasn't ugly. I said, oh, okay. I said, well, they had me thinking that, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see.
Well, can I interject for a minute?
Sure.
I have some poems in the back of the book if you'd like to hear some.
Yes.
We'll take a little break.
Let's hear some of those poems. Show your love, folks, for my mom, aka Poetic. POETI Poetic. She's in the building, folks.
Nobody comment? Wow, I must be really okay.
Okay. Drum rolls in the comments, folks.
Okay. The first one is called Pretty Ugly. The name of this thing is Poems of Strength, Poems of Love. That's what all these poems are about. Anyway, Pretty Ugly one says, my side view would probably fool you. I wasn't popular when I went to school. But if you want to know the truth, I'm cool. So cool. Not the type of cool that makes people want to run up to you. Not the type of cool where good looks rule. I'm the type of cool that makes me feel at peace. I'll try my best. I promise I'll be brief. True, I was ridiculed, but I'm not bitter any longer. I really believe the pain that was heaped upon me made me stronger. I've changed, and I consider myself a winner. I now like the person that I have become. When God made me, he only made one. Excuse me if I don't live up to your expectations. I get to choose what I learned from my many life's lessons. You called me pretty ugly. So which do you choose, the pretty or the ugly? Oh, never mind. That decision has been made for you. You carry that same funky attitude that you had in school. the type of attitude that you thought made you beyond cool. I used to cry when you called me pretty ugly, but I'm not going to be like you and treat you unjustly. It took a while for me to turn my life around. But hey, where is Pretty Ugly? She is nowhere to be found. That was Pretty Ugly.
Finger snaps in the comments. Okay, Teresa Hazel Eyes did the drums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Donna Banks did 4 drums and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 finger snaps. And Teresa Hazel Eyes did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 finger snaps. Yes.
Okay. All right. This next one is called Capsized by Love.
Oh, I remember that poem.
Yeah, it took me a while to write that. She moved slowly across the room, her steps slow and methodical, her feelings strong and bold. He approached her, his arms outstretched, thinking of how sweet it's been since the day they met. He never expected for it to be this way, loving everything about her and her feeling the same. He loved the scent of her cologne, the sexy way she wore her hair, the color, the highlights that seemed to glisten in the moonlight, the fragrance of the shampoo that she used. He was particularly excited with the dress she wore. He loved her beautiful, colorful sarong, her voice as melodious as a song, the way her body moved like she was gliding her way to him. He felt weak as if he had no limbs, and that's the effect that she had on him. He hadn't been taken with a woman like that since he couldn't recall when. He appreciated her being there, and they couldn't take their eyes off one another. The connection was made. She loved him, he loved her, the way it was intended. Whenever he looked at her, time was suspended. Just the two of them, and this was the way it was meant to be, she and he. They began to dance. She took his lead. They needed no speech, and certainly they needed no company. They were listening to each other's heart, listening to the beat. She was drowning in the sea of his being, and at that moment it was only he that she was needing. He closed his eyes for a second and then opened them to be sure he wasn't dreaming. He too was drowning in the sea of her being. It was, however, getting late. There was not much more time for them to spend. Indeed, not enough time for them to spend, because neither wanted their dream to ever end. That was Capsized by Love.
Finger snaps in the comment, folks. Yeah. One time for my mom, folks. Throw your hands in the air for my mom. Throw your hands in the air. Yes.
Okay. I started this book called, which I didn't finish. Don't ask me why. I don't know. Maybe I got writer's block or something. I don't know. But it's called The Package in the Mail. Anybody want to hear it? If you want to hear it, here goes.
Like the hidden go.
Okay. Summer Nielsen, an attractive 32-year-old woman, was on her way to the business she owned, NLA, which was Nielsen Loving Adoptions, one Thursday morning. Before she got into her car, a new 2012 silver Lexus, she thought that she could check. Wait a minute. Before she got in her car, a new 2012 silver Lexus, she thought that she could check her mailbox as she had neglected to do so for the past week. Along with her usual bills and advertisements, she found a slip from the post office notifying her that she had a package to pick up. She thought to herself, a package? From whom did I get a package? I didn't order anything. As she got in her car, she threw her mail along with the slip from the post office in the back seat and proceeded to pull off. The thought of a package waiting for her at the post office had her stumped and her mind racing, as she rarely, if ever, orders anything. Most of her shopping is done in stores. Summer was cautious and hadn't placed an order via the internet in a few years. And that is what had her puzzled. Now, once she pulled into the parking lot of her job and parked her car, she glanced back at the slip, and then she shook her head in bewilderment at the whole thing. Her concentration was completely thrown off because of the imminent package. Now, during her lunch break, she pulls her cell phone out of her purse and dials her sister's telephone number. Hey, Kat, what's up? Well, what's up with you? Her sister Catherine replied. I don't know, Kat. Okay, let me ask you point blank. Did you send me anything in the mail in the past couple of days? Kat replied, send you something in the mail? Now, you know I don't order anything, just like you don't order anything. Oh, okay, just asking, said Summer. I'll talk to you later. And she went back to work. After her shift was over, Summer got in the back seat of her car and retrieved the post office slip. Since she had not picked up her mail in about a week, maybe they sent the package back. She looked thoroughly at the slip and did not see a final notice on it. She then placed the slip in her pocketbook and drove off. Since it was after 5 p.m., the post office would be closed. Oh, well, she thought, I might as well wait until the weekend to get it. Blast that package, she said to herself out loud. What's in it and who could it be from? I have to wait 2 more days before I can get it, and I'm literally going crazy. With each passing day, she got more and more curious about the mysterious package. She called her friends that she knew, as well as relatives, to find out if they had sent it to her. Okay, I'm skipping to the last part here. It approximately took 20 minutes before the line finally went down to where Summer was the 20th person in line at the post office. As the clerk called the person before Summer, she started sweating profusely. She took her hands and started waving them in front of her to cool off a bit. Lord, it's hot in here. Next in line, called the clerk. Summer went up to the clerk's window and handed her the postal slip. Summer's anxiety was raised as the clerk went to the back to retrieve her package. The clerk returned with a small box about the size of a smartphone and about 3.5 inches high. As she got outside, she shook the box. She noticed it was very light. She felt it was empty. She then looked at the return address and noticed it was postmarked from Washington, D.C. The return address was from Orphanage Unlimited, P.O. Box 0001, Washington, D.C. Orphanage Unlimited. Summer decided to ignore her hunch to open the box in the car and waited until she reached home. Summer slammed her door to her apartment in her haste to run and open her package. She started eagerly opening the box, and what she found inside completely stunned her. She dropped the box and resigned to stare at it as it fell to the floor. And that's package in the mail.
All right.
A novel. But there was a lot in between here that I didn't read, so I didn't want to go through all that. So
I
Okay.
want to know what was in the box.
Right?
I know everybody that read that to me said, "What? What was in the box?" I was like, "I can't touch you."
I'm curious now. Like
Oh.
I'm nosy. I don't listen. Don't give me an alert now that I got a package. I'm done work early. And I know what I ordered. That's the sad part.
You know what?
Okay, so we're gonna go back to the comments. Teresa Hazel Eyes did 1, 2, 3, 4 snaps with the heart. Donna Banks did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 snaps. Poessence did the drums. Gladys Moore Bryce has entered the building. Well, she's been in the building. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 finger snaps. Shout out author Debbie D. She said, "Hi y'all, I'm late. I got 1 minute to listen." Hi, Debbie D. Teresa also said 1, 2, 3, 4 snaps, and author Debbie D said, some good night. And Donna Banks said, sounds good so far. And Gladys Moore Bryce did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 snaps. And Teresa Hazel said cliffhanger. Yes, Teresa, cliffhanger.
It
We
is.
want more. We want more. You
Is
can't
there
just leave
is
us
there
hanging
any
like
hint?
that.
Like
You can't just leave us
I'm
hanging like
stuck
that. We
here.
want more.
I'm afraid of heights. I'm afraid of heights, Miss Marie. Like I need a clue or something.
A clue, a clue.
Heights.
Like Blue's Clues.
Yes.
Yes. We need more. We need more. Give us more. In the comments, folks, say give us more. Give us more. Okay. So let's see. What? Oh, Your granddaughter wants me to ask you about the cats.
I don't want to talk about no cats. Talk about the cats every single day. Every, Duke and Ruby is doing fine. Okay, that's all I can tell you.
Duke and Ruby, Ruby and Duke. Oh, okay, let's see. What other questions do I have? Let's see. Okay. We're gonna talk about some more about depression and anxiety along with domestic violence. So, can you share your story um, concerning suffering from anxiety, depression, and domestic violence?
Well, like I said, I've had that for most of my life. I remember when I was I think 3 or 4 years old. That's my earliest remembrance of anything. We was living in the projects before we moved to Mary's, and it was just me and Ricky at the time. Ricky, if I was 3, let me see, how long? We're 2 years apart, so I think I might have been 4. But anyway, I had a dream, and in my dream, believe it or not, I was dreaming that the abominable snowman was chasing my father. I don't know where that came from. I don't know. But that was the beginning of my anxiety. Um, every time I used to ask my mother, did my father get home? Did my father get home? And this was way before all the other kids, and everything was really cool back then. And I was always asking about, where is he? Where is he? He didn't come home yet. He didn't come home. Or if I woke up and he wasn't there, I would still ask my mother, well, where is he? And it was just, that's how it started, with a lot of having anxiety about different things, and I can't take anything for that either, because it's the same thing, that hallucinations. As far as the depression, I think a lot of us have depression, and you deal with it, or you try to get some help. Try to get some help, not just sit around just allowing it to permeate your whole mind and everything. You have to try to get some help. That's when I started going for therapy. I think I was 40, 42 or something like that. Yeah. So, and that was the other thing too, about, because a lot of women in the shelter also was dealing with depression and trauma and all kind of things, domestic violence. Their boyfriend or their husband or whatever was beating them, and one person went and told. She told somebody where. Oh no, she told her boyfriend where the shelter was, and you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to mention nothing about, because then they can go in and I'm saying, it's not. That wasn't the right thing to do. She knew it, but she went ahead and did that anyway. Went and told him where she was, and he would come and pick her up and all that. But I'm like, this just. But anyway, that's just how it is. A whole lot of people are dealing with it, and it's even worse today than I've ever seen it. There's so many people out here that's got depression, anxiety, and all kind of stuff, dealing with trauma. It's really sad, though, to be honest. So that's it.
That statement is very true. In the field that I work in now, I work with a lot of people that deal with that. And you would be surprised. If it's not a field that you're familiar with, you would just, you would know. You
Mhm.
wouldn't know how to identify it, even within yourself, and understanding the things that we were taught that was atypical or normal is signs of depression. Um,
Mhm.
I learned not very early on, but after I had my daughter, and I went to therapy, which is a stigma within our culture, going to
Mhm.
therapy and trying to get help and things like that.
Mhm.
Um, I was going through a lot, and within therapy, learning that I dealt with a lot of depression because I was stay to myself. I was quiet. I did the seen and not heard. I spoke only when spoken to type of
Mhm.
situation.
Yeah.
Um, Even in school, like I knew everybody in school, but even to this day, people can say like, "Oh yeah, I knew her." They didn't know me. We didn't really talk. We didn't really exchange conversations in a way that would identify as being knowing of them knowing me. I was always full of wisdom, but I was still quiet.
Mhm.
But the depression aspect of it was noticing that when it got dark, it got really, really dark really fast.
Mhm.
And not knowing the journey from therapy and understanding what it looks like before you get to, I always call it like the doorway of depression. When you can see yourself getting to that doorway, you have to learn the signs
Mhm.
once when you get to that doorway, and you also have to learn techniques and tools to pull you away from it, because once you step through that threshold, as much as people tell you, oh, you're great, you're awesome, you're strong, you're important, we love you, none of that matters.
Right.
None of it matters. You can't hear any of it. You can't see
Right. Mhm.
the beauty for anything. You can't, even your own. So it's definitely a topic that definitely needs to be talked about, and I know that there are a lot of people that are talking about it in a lot of different ways, but even in understanding what that looks like in ourselves and the people around us, even within our children.
Yeah. Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, a lot of young little children that are dealing with it as well. They may not even have any trauma or anything at home, or it's just their what do you call it, in their brains. It's just their
Mm-hmm.
makeup. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, is that something that's passed on from generation to generation? I don't know. It seems like in our family, there was a lot of depression going on. Mm.
Yeah. I, I mean, obviously, you wouldn't know unless the tests were run, but it does seem systematically that it would be hereditary. It's just back then it was, again, it's just like this, autism and everything else.
Yeah.
You will I've heard a lot of older people say, well, we didn't have that. Like now we think about, like, we're cautious about what we feed our kids. The red dyes and things like that, and how too much sugar affects them, where I've heard a lot of older people say, well, I had sugar. I ate all the sugar. I had red dye. I was fine. Were you fine? Were you okay? Or were you told that you had no choice but to be okay? You were
Wow.
forced to navigate as an atypical or a neurotypical person when you were really struggling.
Yeah. Hmm. Wow.
Going back to the comments, Donna Banks said, "Were cats in the box?"
Huh?
And
Or
cat,
cats in the box?
yeah.
Huh? What that? Donna, what you talking about?
What you don't know, Donna? Um, Angel said, Angel is in the building representing the Bread is Rising Poetry Collective. who always shows the writer's block love. Welcome, Angel. Angel said intergenerational trauma is something we must understand more about.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Hey, Angel.
Angel is in the building. Um, so can you touch on your personal experience with um, domestic violence and emotional abuse?
Well, I dealt with that back in when was it, the 80s? The low 70s, like 78, 79 to 80, 83, something like that. That was that was a pretty hard time back then too, because what abusers usually do is they isolate you from family and friends. They don't want you to be around nobody, have nobody, go nowhere without them. If you have to go to the store or something, you certainly will not be going by yourself. He's going to be tagging along with you to go anywhere you go, whether it's to the store or whether it's to the bank or whatever. And that's the other thing too, they'll take your funds from you so you don't have any money. Okay, that was something too. I wound up having one day, he didn't realize I took some money from when we went to the store, and I put it in where did I put it? I hid it anyway. So, because I knew I was sick of him and I was ready to go. And finally we did. I took that dollar and I took you and put all the stuff in the bag. I don't know if you remember that. Put it in the bags, and we walked up to the bus stop, and we went to Nanny's, went to my grandmother's, and stayed there. He came up there, but she wouldn't let him see me. And after that, he wrote me this long letter about how much he loved me and all this other kind of stuff. And I was like, I ain't trying to hear that. And now I'm gone. I don't want to have nothing to do with you no more. It was just awful. I couldn't go nowhere. Like I said, I couldn't go nowhere on my own. I had to stay in the house. I had to clean up and cook, and couldn't talk to nobody. Like when my brother used to when Phil used to come to visit me, he used to say that my brother was bringing men to the house to see me and all this kind of stuff. And there wasn't nothing. Nothing was further from the truth. Nothing. I wasn't that type of person. So it was really horrible. And when I went to my grandmother's house, she saw that my eyes was like red under here, like black, not black eye, but red. It was very red under my eyes. And she already told me. She said, "You ain't going back there." But then I think I did go back, and then that last time when I left for good. I didn't come back. Or was it the last time? I don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually remember that last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we stayed with Nanny for a while, and then I moved back to Plainfield. No, was that Plainfield or Highland Park?
Plainfield. It's Plainfield.
Yeah, I moved back to Plainfield. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people that go through it, even now you hear people when they're abused, the first thing they say is, he didn't mean to do it. He's sorry. He loves you. All this other kind of stuff. When, please, that's not love. That's not love at all. It's just not. And a lot of times these men pick up this. They pick up this thing where they feel that, my father did the same thing to my mom because she deserved it. The women always deserve everything. Nothing is the men's fault. It's always the women. Women did this. She did that. She didn't cook the food like I like. She burnt the food. Or she dropped. I didn't pick up my mail. Whatever kind of crazy, any kind of excuse will do for them to abuse you. They don't care. And a lot of women, they just, like I said, they always say, "Well, he loves me. He didn't mean to do it," and blah blah blah. A lot of them wind up dead because they don't listen. because people do advise them sometimes. If you have somebody to advise you, try to tell them, you need to get out before you get killed or something, and they just don't listen. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
When you were talking about not feeling love, it made me think of DMX when he did his song dedicated to his grandma, because he felt like she was the only one who like really loved him. So like when you were talking about that, it made me think about that DMX song. And every time I hear that song, I just be like, oh, because he did deal with a lot of trauma in his life too. And you never know what somebody is going through until they like speak about it. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it's not good to keep something like that inside. You're just keeping it and keeping it. Your emotions, you're just going to explode. Something negative is going to come out of that. Nothing positive can come out of that at all. But then you get sick. You're going to get sick and tired of being sick and tired at some point. Some people will. They get tired of it, but that's the way it is. My mother went through. It was just a generational thing. My grandfather beat my grandmother. My father beat my mother. Then I had this situation, so it was a generational thing. That's crazy. Why didn't one person listen to the experience of the other person? Why did it have to go through 3 generations of people before it was stopped? Sometimes I used to ask myself that.
Sometimes it doesn't look the same.
It doesn't look the same?
Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't look the same. And I think that in some situations you can walk the same path but not see the same stone. So it's if that particular person might, let's just say they have money, or they're stable, you know what I mean? They have a stable environment, and you're providing the love that you provide, and they provide everything that they provide, and then one day that switch flips on, and it's like, oh man, it didn't look like what my mom went through. Because she struggled. So that's what I mean by sometimes it doesn't always look the same. And if you grow up thinking, because we all have done it as children. Like when I become an adult, when I become a parent, I'm not going to do that. The relationships that we seen our parents have, or the marriages that we seen our parents have, I'm not going to be that way. I'm not going to be married to someone like that. But then you get married to someone who starts showing you similar signs.
Yeah.
Similar things, but by that time you're so far in, you've been clouded by the love bug, so that when you get to that point of where there is abuse and there is trauma, you're constantly holding on to the great parts in those moments. So yeah, I would definitely say, even from the stories that I've heard, doesn't always look the same.
Do you work in that field by any chance?
No, I don't. I work with people with special abilities, but
Okay.
I've been around the block once or twice with a few different situations.
Okay.
I'm going to go back to the comments real quick. Donna said, I was talking about the book you were starting, with 1, 2, 3, 4 laughing emojis.
Oh.
Gladys Moorebright said, you're right. They will keep you away from your family and friends. That's how abusers are. Donna said, enjoyed the podcast. Great job, Barb. Good night. Gladys said, glad that you got out of that situation. Your life is valuable. And she also said, I will check out the replay. This has been such a great podcast. She said, I enjoy listening to Miss Barbara, and Poessence is so real. Shout out to
Thank you.
Gladys
Thank
Moore
you.
Bright. Yes. So
Okay.
the time is going by so quickly. So,
Yes.
Mom, what do you want the takeaway of this wonderful podcast to be?
Well, for those who have experienced or are actually experiencing what I've experienced, just be clear that you're going to need some help. You can't spend the rest of your life dealing with trauma, feeling unloved, unwanted, and just treated like crap all the time. Just, you can't go through your whole life like that. A lot of people go to their graves and never found happiness because they're hurting aside from all the stuff that they were dealing with. And that's why a lot of people commit suicide too. That's the other thing. That's the thing. Other thing too I want to mention, I did try to commit suicide at, I think I was 12. I was 12 years old. I took a whole bottle of aspirin and thought that I wasn't going to wake up, and I did. I was like, man, why? That's why I said it sounds funny now because I'm like, man, I didn't want to wake up. I just didn't want to wake up. I never tried it again though. That's never been a thought again. I just never did decide to do that. But people do, and they feel like they have no other alternative. They have no allies, no nothing, and it just hurts so deep in your heart when you feel like that and you want to just end it. So just be careful and try to get yourself some help if you possibly can. Sometimes there's free help out here. Some of these apps and stuff have therapy that's either low. Is it actually low cost? I don't know about free, but it's low cost, and that may help you. Or talk to somebody that you actually trust. Don't talk to just anybody. Talk to somebody that you can actually trust, and that they will listen to you, and they can properly advise you on what to do. And don't listen to people that tell you, oh, you need to just stop it. Don't let nobody tell you that. Oh, just stop it. Are you kidding me? No, you don't let people talk to you like that. You just decide for yourself what you're going to do, and then you do it. It may take some time. It may take some practice, because I used to use a lot of affirmations and whatnot. And a lot of people don't like affirmations. That's on them. I don't care. But I'm saying you have to start somewhere. You have to start working on yourself. And to start off, you have to do it with therapy, somebody who can actually help you. That's all I got to say about that. Yeah.
Well, folks, Pretty Ugly. You need to get your copies, okay? Good book. Very good, very deep. Like I said, had me up in here emotional like Carl Thomas. I was like, Pretty Ugly by my mom.
Tell
Okay.
them where you get it from.
All right. Amazon. Amazon.com. Pretty Ugly, folks. Okay. Get to the.
Yes.
And also get Poet's book too. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember they mentioned you. I got to get yours too. Hold on.
That's right, Poet's. Show that book, girl. Okay. Let the people know.
It's what, a journey through her. Oh, that's nice. A journey through her eyes.
Yes, a palindrome of poetry.
That's okay. THROUGH, through her eyes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and where can I get that?
On Amazon.
Amazon as well. Okay.
Yes.
Amazon.
You have definitely motivated me. I actually started writing about my own life, my own journey, not just through poetry, but writing my story. So, Mz.KIR, thank you. I appreciate you for involving me in this, whether you realized it or not. I have always been told that I have a story to tell. And every now and then, being on this podcast, I kind of let out a little bit of tidbits here and there, and, different environments that I am in. I've always felt like I am to tell my story, give my testimony on why it is that I am still here. When man said that I was not supposed to be. So I appreciate your courage to write this, and I understand in some aspects how difficult it is to start unpacking in written form for the world to read the things that you have gone through, which is a testimony that can help someone else.
Yes. Yep.
I appreciate that so much. Like, I needed this. Doesn't mean that my process is not going to be hard. I'm sure I'm going to cry a lot. I'm going to be in here ugly crying. Just ugly crying, okay? But at the same time, like you said, there are people that suffer in silence. And I used to be one of those people who I took the weight of the world on my shoulders, and I didn't tell a soul that I was hurting. I didn't talk about my feelings or my emotions. And now, being married, you can't not do that. You gotta talk.
Right.
You gotta share. So even in that, like, my husband is helping me to process that feelings and emotions, and shedding tears, and just walking through it. It's okay.
Yeah.
There's no judgment. You can cry if that moment made you feel an emotion where you wanted to cry. You're not weak for crying. You're not weak for feeling that emotion. Experience it. Allow yourself to go through it, because once you go through it, once you feel it, now where are we going from here? And I'm the type of person, my husband knows I'm the type of person, I don't like to stay stuck in nothing. I got to get on up out of that. After I cry and snot and ugly cry, I need solutions. Okay.
I know that's
So,
right.
like I said, I appreciate you for sharing that, for taking that walk, so that I may see, that I may read and be inspired.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going back to the comments real quick again. Let's see. Dollars Flex said facts. Teresa Hazelai said deep and real podcast was a pleasure. Dollar Flex said love that advice. And Zerania Lewis, hey cousin. She said good evening, blessings, cousin. I'm enjoying everything. Thank you, cousin. And that is all. So any shout outs you want to give, mom? AKA Poetic.
Shout out to who? Shout out to you, poets. Okay, that's one person. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Shout out to Mz.KIR.
Oprah.
Shout out to everybody listening, everybody who commented. That's real. Yeah.
Okay. Poessence, would you like to give some shout outs?
Yes, of course. I would give a shout out to my husband, Dollars Flex, who commented. My
Shout out to the hubby.
now sister, yes, shout out to the hubby. My own sister circle, they know who they are. They are also very important. And the the process of unpacking with friends is definitely one of those things that is very important as well. My husband said to tell you his name is Patrick. um, yes. Just sorry about that. So yes, shout out shout out to like I said, my husband Patrick, my daughter, my sisters, my sister circle, you, Mz.KIR, for always giving me the opportunity and putting me in certain places that I don't even expect to be at sometimes. And shout out to you, Miss Marie, for being an inspiration.
Okay. Nice. All right. Well, thank you for having me, y'all.
I want to give my shout outs. I want to shout out, first of all, to my mom, tonight's guest.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Make sure you get her book, folks. And shout out to Poesis. Make sure you get her book. And Genevieve, shout out to her. Make sure you get Genevieve's book coming out soon. Shout out to
What is it?
huh?
What's the name of the book? What is it?
Oh, dang it, I forgot the name of it. Genevieve, if you come on here later, can you put the name of your book? Also want to shout out to the firstborn T Noodle and to Big Dude K, and shout out to all my peeps, everybody who's watching, everybody who comes in every Friday night, because you could be doing other things, but you come to watch live with Mz.KIR, and I appreciate you. Shout out to Writers Block members, Writers Block. Long live the Writers Block. Shout out to Angel Martinez from Bread is Rising. Gladys Moore Bryce from Small Business Network. And the list goes on. Jay Silent Night, Rice Cerrone, the San Francisco Tree. Shout outs to Rosalia and my guest from last week, Carla Cherry and Brittany Jones, aka Shy Moonlight, and Heavenly Harmonies, and the list goes on. Anyway, this is Tanisha, also known as Topra, aka Mz.KIR, capital K, capital I, capital R, the poetic lyricist. Oh yeah, shout outs to James Ellerby. Yeah, shout outs to James Ellerby and William Washington and Michael Connor, aka North Philly's finest. Shout out to them. And please don't know.
I would like to shout out Ruby Jackson and Lucas Pedro Lucas.
Oh, showing out no cats. Now let's go. I gotta go.
Anyway, folks, this is Tanisha, aka Mz.KIR, coming to you from Live with Mz.KIR. Episode, what is this, 375, 76 of the Small Business Network / episode 28 of Live with Mz.KIR. Remember that edges matter. Okay, do not let anybody tell you edges don't matter. Hashtag edges matter, and y'all be breezy, because breeziness matters just like edges do. So with that being said, long live the edges and long live breeziness. I'm wishing you love, peace, soul, edges, breeziness, and see you next week. Forgot who the guest's gonna be next week. But in any event, see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.
All right.